Hello and welcome. We begin with major developments out of Mali. The Russian mercenary group Wagner has officially withdrawn from the West African nation after more than 3 years of operations against Islamist insurgents. The Wagner Group says its mission in Mali is complete and its fighters are now returning home. Wagner's presence boosted Moscow's footprint in Africa. In Mali, it had been operating since 2021 following a military coup. Wagner troops replaced French troops and UN peacekeepers fighting Islamist insurgents, but the violence has continued unabated. Despite Wagner's exit, Russia is not leaving Mali. The Africa Corps, a state-controlled Russian force, says it will stay. It claims that Wagner's exit will not affect the operations on the ground. Now, the Africa Corps is under direct command of the Russian Defense Ministry. It was formed after the death of Wagner's ex-leader Yevgeny Prigozhin in a plane crash in 2023. Now, months after his short-lived mutiny against President Vladimir Putin, Moscow has since been building the Africa Corps as a replacement force. Now, as per reports, up to 70 to 80% of Africa Corps personnel are ex-Wagner fighters, and according to US officials, around 2,000 Russian mercenaries remain in Mali. But it is unclear how many belong to Wagner and how many to Africa Corps. Now, Wagner also operates in neighboring Burkina Faso and in Niger, which are also junta-led countries and a hotbed for terrorism. The withdrawal from Mali coincides with a surge in attacks by al-Qaida affiliate Jnim, which recently forced the country's army to retreat from a key base after back-to-back assaults. Wagner also suffered its deadliest defeat in Mali last year, when a convoy was ambushed near the Algerian border. Between 50 to 80 Wagner fighters were killed in what was their biggest loss in Africa to date. The escalating violence across the Sahel has raised questions about Wagner's effectiveness and its claims of strengthening the Malian army. Analysts say that Wagner's exit casts doubt on the future of Russia's security footprint in the region. Now, what does this withdrawal tell us about Russian operations in the Sahel region? To discuss this further, we have with us Ulf Lessing, the head of Sahel program at the Konrad Adenauer Foundation based in Bamako, who is currently joining us live from N'Djamena in Chad. Thank you very much for being with us.
Pleasure.
Now, Ulf, what does the Wagner's withdrawal from Mali and the shift to the Kremlin-backed Africa Corps signal about Russia's evolving military strategy and, of course, its influence in West Africa?
It means that Russia now officially owns its mercenary operations. With Wagner, that was never clear. It was this shadowy, mercenary run by Mr. Prigozhin, who then fell out with Putin, was killed in 2023. And the Russians had left this partner structure in place in Mali because it was all based on personal contracts from Mr. Prigozhin. Now Russia feels confident enough to take over the contract, but it probably also means a shift away from fighting jihadists, doing more training, protection service. Africa Corps is not like Rambo fighters like Prigozhin.
Yes. And how credible is Wagner's claim of successfully completing its mission, given the recent deadly attacks by Jnim and the ongoing instability that we see in Mali?
Yeah, it's not very credible. I mean, of course, they had to say this as part of their brand, but they weren't very successful. I mean, there was one victory when they, helped the Malian army taking over a Tuareg, stronghold Kidal up in the north in Mali, but otherwise they didn't make much of a difference. They made it worse in many parts, with all these accusations of, abuses against civilians, and they never really stood a chance. You had maybe 1,500 Russians. Why would they more achieve than, 5,000 French soldiers and, 13,000 UN peacekeepers who tried it before?
Yes. Yes. And what are the implications of this withdrawal for the Malian military, especially in the wake of the recent joint losses against the jihadist groups? Could this leave a security vacuum, or could it strain the existing operations?
Yeah, details are unclear, but I think that the Africa Corps wants to do less fighting. They had a major defeat in summer 23 when dozens of Wagner fighters were killed up in the north. And since then, the Wagner Group or the mercenaries have been a bit less, active or less willing to take risks. I think, there will be even less fighting, more focus on training, on providing equipment. So for the Malian government, yeah, that's they wanted people who can help fight. That's what the Europeans didn't want to do, and that brought the Russians in. So potentially, that is, it's difficult news to break to the Malians.
Absolutely. Ulf, thank you very much for being with us on Firstpost Africa and for your valuable insights there.
Pleasure.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.